it's here today. Julie Milo Show is coming your way on Passive.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Julie and Milo Show. My name is Julie Nguyen. I'm coming to you from Newport Beach, California. My dear friend Milo. Milo, if you could please say hello.
Good morning, Milo from Nashville.
Hello, Milo. Thank you. Yes, today is February 2nd, 2021. February is a hot month in Onpassive. Yes, Onpassive is the subject that you and I, Milo, and hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world talking about. Absolutely. It is going to be here and it's never going to go away. Onpassive is a real company, real business. It has real people and people that has real story. Onpassive has started with Mr. Ash Mufarad, who has the mind of a genius and a heart of gold. And yes, every time we get on and sit down and talk to Mr. Ash Mufarad, our heart and our mind are expanded. And yes, behind Onpassive is a community of people with love. We share the vision of Mr. Ash Mufarad shared with us. And yes, today on the Julie and Milo Show, we do have a special guest, a wonderful guest who is a leadership counsel. And I'm just gonna go ahead and have Milo. Could you please introduce our guest?
I can. Thank you, Julie, so much. Yeah, this founder comes to us from across the pond, and we're so excited to have her on the show today. So I'm going to bring her out right now. Vandana Nanda, come on out.
Hello.
All right, how you doing?
Hi, Julie, and hi, Milo. How are you both?
Welcome to the show. Doing good. Yourself?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so honored to be on this show with you.
Oh, great. It's great to have you on the show. What we do on this show is we like to get to know founders better, their life and stuff like that. So let's start right at the beginning and let me ask you, where were you born? About your mom, your dad, your brothers, sisters, and your family. Give us about 3 minutes on that.
Sure. So I was born in New Delhi, India, and my father was in the government service. So he traveled to many places, and I have a brother and a sister. And we are like an international family. My brother is a US citizen, and my sister is a citizen of UK, and I'm an Indian citizen. So we cover continents. And my father was in the government service, and he used to get posted into various cities. So I've studied in as many as 11 schools. And a good part of my childhood was also spent in Afghanistan, in Kabul. And we've had a really good time traveling all across, moving school to school, moving city to city with him. And after that, when I got married, we lived in the Netherlands for 2 years, and then we lived in the UK for 4 years.
Awesome.
Wow. How many children do you have?
I have 2 children, and they are 22 and 25, and just out of college. One is just out of college, one is working, and all grown up now.
Awesome.
I understand that your husband is no longer with us. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when we were posted in the UK, my husband, he passed away very early, at a very young age. He was only 43 years old when he passed away. And we were living in the UK, and he was off to India on a tour. And the day he was to come back, just the day before that, he passed away. And it was a huge shock to us, to my children and to me. And I was not working at that time. And we were so dependent on him. It was like everything sort of going haywire in our lives. And it was a terrible blow to us. And we moved back to India. And while I was working before, I was not working in the UK because I was on a dependent work visa. So we came back to India, and my children joined school here. And it was a huge change for them because when they went to England, they didn't speak much of English. When they got back to India, they didn't speak much of Hindi. So, and it was a total change. They lost their father, they lost their school, they lost the country they were living in. They had to adjust to new school, new everything. And luckily I found a job here, and I was able to take, it was a good corporate job because I had worked before in IT companies, and I got a good job here. And fortunately, I should be grateful for that. I was able to take care of my kids, send them for education abroad, and now they are all sort of grown up. So it's sort of a big thing off my mind that I've been able to bring up my kids on my own. But it was a huge loss, and when my husband passed away, my son had the question that, "Mom, have we become poor now?" And that really knocked me off because, I never thought of, I was just wallowing in my own misery, self-pity, whatever. But when he said that, "Have we become poor now?" it just struck me, now I have to take care of everything. Earlier, it was all shared. So I mean, a husband and wife, I was very happy looking after the kids and home. And my husband was looking after finances, bills, all those things. I didn't want to be bothered with them, though I was educated, I had worked, I had done everything. But we had sort of divided our responsibilities. And you won't believe it, but I didn't even know how to, I didn't even know the password of our online banking. So it was quite a learning experience. I had to learn everything, start fresh, and start fresh back again, and take care of everything myself. But I think I have to be grateful that I have two very lovely kids, and it's okay. It's life it's what it is.
Wow, that's awesome. Sorry for your loss, and I can relate with you. I lost my wife too about 8 years ago, and it's a huge loss. When that happens, you almost feel there's things you don't even realize that you miss until they're gone, and then you really miss them. And but you made a wonderful recovery, and what you did with your children and stuff, and working in the IT industry and stuff. So you kind of got a little head start on us with Onpassive, working in the IT industry, huh?
I don't think so. I think Onpassive is for everyone, and I think it's something which it doesn't require any technical expertise as such, I think.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful. I know that you're growing up. You've traveled with your father. You go from countries to country. You go from Afghanistan to UK, and now you go back to India. So tell us, I know you have a long list of interesting things that you've done, but the viewer, it's not listening, it's not looking at your bio right now. So if you could please tell us, what are the interesting things that you've done in your life?
Well, I love traveling, trekking. We went to Bhutan a few years back. I went to Bhutan with my kids, and we went to Tiger's Nest trekking. It was beautiful. I love seeing new places, exploring new places, meeting new people, exploring different cultures, and making friends with everyone in general. So I think I've passed that on to my kids. They also love to travel and go and see new places.
Wow. I noticed that you said you have studied in as many as 11 schools?
Yes. Sounds amazing, but it's very true.
Now, is that
How do you get to that?
It was tough, you go shift to a new school and you make friends again. And then again, after a year, you are shifted to another city, you make new friends again. But luckily, my siblings are not very, we have 2 and 4 years of difference between us. So I'm the eldest, and my brother and sister are younger to me. But luckily, 3 of us always stuck together and, entertained each other. And we got used to making friends easily, adjusting to new places, adjusting to new schools. We got the hang of it after a while, and we sort of got used to changing all these schools so often.
wow? That's a lot of schools, but it helps you adjust, I guess, and adapt. So
Yes.
do you have any hobbies that you like to do?
I love to read and I love to swim. And these are the two hobbies I really like. I did not get much time while the kids were growing up because you get so busy with your office because here in India, the distances between your home and office is huge. And sometimes it's like as much as 2 hours each way. So 4 hours in the day, you're just traveling and not much time left for too many hobbies.
Oh,
But I
wow.
always loved reading and I love to exercise, swim, go to the gym. I like to do all that.
Cool. Well, if you could recommend 2 books for people to read, what would it be?
The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. And I think what has affected me is lately when all this happened was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Because I used to think like I was brought up by the poor dad. I didn't think much of money. But now when you don't have it, you need to think about it. And I think that affected me a lot.
Absolutely. Robert Kiyosaki is great.
Yes.
Good
Yeah,
group.
that's absolutely great. One thing that you said on your bio that really touched me is you have a deep passion, a deep desire and passion actually. It's to inspire people, especially women, to empower women. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's my deepest desire because I have struggled to bring up my kids, and I know so many other single women, whether through their financial need or through they're single women, they're separated, divorced, or they have some family problems. They don't have enough money, they don't have enough time, and I think empowering women plays a very big role because if you are financially independent, you are quite empowered. So I think financial independence can become a lot big, can sort of bring a lot of empowerment to women. And it is my deepest desire to help as many other women I can so that they don't have to struggle. They know a way they can find their own feet and they don't have to depend on anybody else. They should be able to be the boss of their own lives.
I love, I love it. So now you were over in Hyderabad for the meeting over there at the office, correct? Tell us a little about that.
Oh, that was amazing. It was such an amazing trip when 29 of us landed. We were greeted with flowers at the airport, treated to a 5-star luxury hotel right next to our beautiful office. And we visited the office, and it's amazing. It's quite amazing. And I'm hoping all of us founders can meet there one day to see how amazing that is. And they had arranged a whole function for us on the rooftop where the young employees of the company, they danced, they sang, they treated us well and showed us around the office. And the office is amazing, done up very well very elegantly done up. And we saw Ash's room, we saw Omar's room. It is so cute. And it's an amazing office. And we also got the opportunity to talk to the people there who are working on some of these projects. And the feedback they gave us was really good. And we are all looking forward to seeing the products now because of all that we've heard about O Connect, O Academy, and O Net, and all those. They seem very real when you talk to the people who are developing those products. So it was a really good trip, very educative about Onpassive, and it just gave a real. It just made it all real for us that Onpassive is really there and it's really creating all those things. Though we didn't have doubt earlier also, but just seeing something in brick and mortar makes you feel more sure about it, more confident about it, and it just makes you feel proud to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely. As we all do, we're being so proud, feel so proud being with Onpassive. Not only that, we speak with confident and we know that it's going to be here. So now going back to the question that probably no one had asked you before is, when did you start Onpassive and why did you join Onpassive and what does it do for you right now?
Okay, so when I used to see people working online and earning online, I was very enamored by it. So due to my busy job, I was not able to do much online. I joined OnPassive on April 2019. But before that, also I had seen OnPassive, but I didn't know much about it because, like everybody else, I used to go check out the reviews, what is good, what is bad. I would see some good reviews, some bad reviews, and that used to sort of throw me off. And then I realized that some of the reviews, they start with scam. It's not a good thing. It's like that. So then I realized that these are just affiliate marketers who are wanting to drive traffic to their own site, and they're selling their own products using on Passive's name. So I realized that, and I'm so glad and so thankful that I did. And then I joined On Passive immediately. So after attending the webinars and everything, I realized that it is really so much bigger than we all knew it, at that time. It is so much bigger, so powerful, and so humanitarian, because it's going to help so many people. It's not just one person, not one Ash who will be a millionaire. There'll be so many millionaires around. So I as we go through the webinars, as we come to know more and more about it, I think it's absolutely brilliant. The whole idea is brilliant, and I'm so glad I just took that leap of faith and signed on with the $97, which really isn't anything much to start with.
Absolutely. It is a great thing. And I know listening to you, I hear your heart talking, and, you talked about how you want to give back, how you want to help others, especially the women, you want to empower them and stuff like that. And I like to say that, On Passive is changing the world one person at a time. And it started with Ash
Right.
Mopara, but it
Right.
continues to all of us. And I think originally when we all got in, we felt like that, we were looking at the money aspect and stuff, but now we all realize that that's a done deal. We're going to have more money than we can use, and we're going to live, in abundance. And so now our mind and heart goes to, okay, so how are we going to be able to help someone else in humanity? And Ash said it so well. He said, we want you to reach down, we want you to grab someone and pick them up and bring them up to you, and that's it's so cool. So what is do you have a plan, or what do you think about the way that OnPassive set up as far as their giving program?
So the way I see it, I would like to empower people to be able to earn themselves. So OnPassive provides that platform. So firstly, those who can, I would help them to join OnPassive and start earning. And those who can't, those who are children, disabled, cannot do anything, I hope to be able to have some funds or some charity or some NGO for them which can help bring them up. In India, you can see so much of poverty. There's so much of economic differences, so much of social differences between people, that you can see children who are living in very lavishly, and children who don't have shoes on their feet or even a shirt on their body. So I think my heart goes out to these children who are orphans, who don't have a home to go to, who are not going to school. So I would like every child to be educated, and every child to be taught to be able to fend for themselves, because once you have financial freedom, everything else falls in place. So I think it's very important for everyone to help them be able to earn, and basic education is necessary for that. So I do want to help the kids, to help women, and to help remove poverty from the world, actually.
That's awesome, and I think the system that Ash has set up is so beautiful, because it really, you've heard this story before. You can give a man a fish, or you can teach him how to fish, And I
Absolutely.
think with OnPassive, it can teach you how to fish, and it doesn't matter where you are in life. You can put someone into the program, and rather than giving them money, you give them a spot into the program. It makes your bucket become bigger that you can give out of, but it also helps them week after week after week, and you can teach them to also give and help other people. And usually the people like that get help, that need help, that really need help, they're going to be the biggest person to help others, you know, because they've been through it.
Absolutely. And only when you go through the hard times yourself, you realize what the other people are going through. And that's the time you can really help them. So I do believe it's important to look after everyone. And I'm sure once our financial needs, ourselves and our families' needs are satisfied, we all are going to look forward and help humanity.
Absolutely. I believe it. You know, I believe that's true. And we say on the show, a lot of times we bring up the illustration about an orange, you know, how many oranges can an orange create? Well, it's infinite, because an orange has a seed, you know, and we have that seed that we can plant in the ground. As an Onpassive person, we consider us being an orange, and we take that seed out and we plant it in the ground, and we can have an whole orange grove, because we plant trees and they bring more oranges, you know, and it just grows so big and grows so fast. And you know, I love that about Onpassive.
Yes.
You know, but we're
another thing too is that as we all sitting down and talk to you know, and hearing Ash, psychologically he changed us into a more giving person. I'm very sure all of us are coming from a giving you know, times in our life, but as Ash expanding our mind and our heart more, it just give us more reason to give. It give us more ability to give, because I think you know, it does, we have to have our tummy full in order for us to be able to reach out and help people. And I've always say Onpassive, it's a gift to the humanity that's Ash is giving us, and that gift is continuously giving, I mean, coming from all of us out there. So I really appreciate you taking some time and being here with us. I wanted to ask you basically, what is your word of advice to all the founders that are already founder but hasn't really done anything, or the people that are actually on the fence and haven't really decided whether or not being in Onpassive or not? So what are your words of wisdoms?
My words of wisdom are that if you are not in, get in. And if you're already in, get your family in. And especially if you have any women in your family, empower them, get them in. You have your mother, wife, sister, daughter, anybody, just get them in, because you will be doing them a big favor for all their lives. And I think it's not just you, but your entire family who will benefit from Onpassive. So do get, if you're sitting on the fence, jump in. And if you're already in, get others in.
Absolutely. Yes, and I think, Milo, do you have any last words, Milo?
just thanks so much for coming and you know, talking with us. You have a beautiful story, and we appreciate you coming here and spending 30 minutes with us today. Thank you very much, Vandana.
Thank you so much, Milo, and thank you so much, Julie. It's amazing to be with you both and be on this show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, there you have it, everyone. Well, this is one of our leadership council, and you hear her story. And the Julie and Milo Show is a place where you can hear a lot of founders' stories, and you get to know them, because one time when Onpassive is out there and we get to see each other, you know exactly the persons that you will be meeting. So thank you so much for joining the Julie and Milo Show. If you are on the fence and haven't decided whether or not you should go in Onpassive, listen to our leadership council, because she said you should be in it. And absolutely, you should be in it in order to win it. Get back with the person who shared this message with you. And if you are a founder, lock into your back office and start taking the action, because the action that you take, it will change your life completely to a better place. So absolutely, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for joining the Julie and Milo Show, and please subscribe so that our videos coming out twice Every day you'll get notification, and also join our Facebook page on Passive with a Heart. Good night from Newport Beach, California.
Goodbye from Delhi, India.
Good night from Nashville.
How they tell when they join and how they're doing so well, telling us what it's all about today and how they are loving that own passive way on passive. Here today on passive, no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo Show, so then you can be the very first to know. On passive, it's a here today. Julie and Milo Show is coming your way on passive.